Okay, well, yes, welcome to this first meeting of 2018. We promise to not be working in the shadows for all of our meetings, just for this one. But hopefully if we can raise the lights a little bit, that might be helpful. Any regrets? No, we haven't received any to date. No declarations of interest? I see none. Confirmation of minutes from our meeting of 1 December. Are those carried? Excellent. Okay, so we have two items today for substantive consideration. The first is an application to demolish the parking garage at the Chateau Laurier at 1 Rideau Street, a property designated under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act. And we're going to start just with, we're going to ask staff just to give us a brief summary of the application.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the Built Heritage Subcommittee. This application is in front of you as an application to demolish the Chateau Laurier parking lot or parking garage that was built in the 1969-70 and has reached the end of its usable life. It's been deteriorating because of salt damage and age for the last number of years, has been carefully monitored by the Chateau's engineering consultant, and it was determined that it ought to be closed a week ago, and it was closed a week ago because it was unsafe. So I'll just go through here. So the Chateau Laurier parking garage it's a 4-story, this isn't working on the screen. Why is that? Anyway, it's shown here. It's a 5-level, 4-story garage constructed at the north of the existing Heritage Building. The Heritage Building, the Chateau Laurier, was designated under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act in the 1970s. At the time that it was designated, the City of Ottawa didn't do exclusions. You will have noticed over the years that often when we do a new designation and there's a new addition, we say this is excluded this addition is excluded from the designation, but this was not the case, and that's why we have to have an application under the Act to remove that part of the building now. The Chateau parking garage is probably familiar to many people. This is the entrance on Mackenzie. This is what it looks like from beside the canal, showing the south and west elevations. So the proposal is to demolish the parking lot down to the ground level and leave a surface parking lot at grade and screen that with a reduced wall. Again, this isn't working. A reduced wall, so the first story will be the first story of the wall will be stabilized and remain in place, so that during the time period that the surface parking lot is operating, the cars will not be visible from the street. Mine didn't go. Oh. So this is the view. This will be the view from the Majors Hill Park. It is more heavily screened than that, but the trees have been thinned to show what it will look like during the time that it operates as a surface parking lot. And this is the view from the other side of the canal. It is anticipated that the report says the demolition will start in March. It may start as early as February if council approval is obtained to demolish this portion of the building, and it is anticipated that the surface parking lot will continue to function until all the approvals for new construction at the Chateau Laurier are in place and the project to construct an addition starts. I think, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that overview. We do have speakers signed up on this item, all in support of the application. And so I guess the question to members of the committee is, if there are questions specifically to the applicant, then we can ask the applicant to come up. If there are no questions, then I'll ask the speakers whether they need to speak on this item if the committee is prepared to approve this. So I see no questions. For those who have signed up, if the committee is prepared to approve this item, do you need to speak? I'm looking at Heritage Ottawa. I'm looking at the applicant. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for your willingness to speak. Given that there are no questions and no concerns, can we carry this item? Carried. I do think in the interest of, I think the great public interest in this larger issue, I might ask staff just to give us a little bit of an update on what we anticipate the process over the coming months to be once there is a formal application filed for the expected addition to the property. So Sally, could you just provide a brief update on that?
Yes, if you'd like further details, as you know, the applicant is here, but I can give you a brief summary. It is anticipated that the site plan application will be, and the heritage applications will be filed in the coming weeks, and then later in the winter, a public meeting will be scheduled after the plans have been on circulation, and that will be open to all as a public meeting. And then we are, because of the high level of interest in the project, we are going to have a slightly different approach to its consideration at Built Heritage Subcommittee, and what we anticipate is that in April or May, perhaps, but as these things have a way of changing, we will at one meeting table the staff report on the proposed addition, and it will be considered at the next meeting. So this will give everyone ample time to have a look at it and to rally their thoughts, etc. So there is, because of the high level of interest in the project, we decided to try that. So, thank you.
Great. Okay. Thank you very much. Any questions on that, Mr. Vice Chair?
Yeah, just one question on the process. Does this mean that the statutory 90-day period will be extended, or do you think it all can be done within the 90 days of the application?
That depends on when the application is submitted vis-a-vis when the meeting, what the meeting schedules are. So, and I'm sure that we have a willing applicant, because we have discussed this very closely with LARCO, and they're very supportive of this, and Momentum Planning, they're very supportive of this approach. So if we need more than 90 days, it's very easy to extend the 90 days.
Okay, great. Thank you for that update, and thank you, Councillor Fleury, for attending on this item this morning. So turning to the next item, we have an application for demolition and new construction at 485 Maple Lane, a property designated under Part 5 of the Ontario Heritage Act. And here, too, we might just ask staff for a very brief summary of the application.
Good morning. This is an application for demolition and new construction at 485 Maple Lane. Situated in the Rockcliffe Park Heritage Conservation District, this property is categorized as a Category 2. The existing house is located in the corner of Maple Lane and Maple Place. The existing house has an entrance on either side with a door and driveway on both Maple Lane and Maple Place. The top image shows the existing facade from Maple Place with a semicircular driveway in front. The lower image shows the Maple Lane facade with its linear driveway leading to a double-car garage. As part of this application, this house is proposed to be demolished. The proposed new house will be contemporary in design and have a light gray color palette. It will be clad in Indiana limestone, stucco, and cedar. The building will maintain the two entrances on Maple Lane and Maple Place, with its primary facade facing Maple Lane. The triple-car garage also faces Maple Lane, and it appears in a double and is significantly recessed from the main facade of the house. The orientation, the orientation, height, and massing of the house are compatible with the character of Maple Lane and Maple Place, as well as with the nearby Grade 1 buildings. No minor variances are required for this application. This rendering highlights the removal of a semicircular driveway as seen from the corner of Maple Lane and Maple Place, In its place, a narrow walkway leading to a side entrance is proposed. This overview of the property shows the proposed improvements to the landscaping. A narrow linear driveway leading to the garage and the removal of the semicircular driveway results in an abundance of soft landscaping throughout the lot. The proposed landscape plan includes a retention of the existing trees and hedges, with the exception of one Norway maple and one blue spruce. The Norway maple will be replaced with a red maple tree. Both the front and side entrances will be flanked by feathered reed grass. This proposal meets the guidelines of the new Rockcliffe Park Heritage Conservation District Plan with respect to landscaping in the following ways. The two lawns are to be retained and enhanced by the removal of a semicircular driveway. The landscape, including the existing grade, are to be retained as well as most of the mature trees. And finally, the trees and shrubs along the northern and eastern perimeter will remain unchanged and continue to provide a buffer for its neighbors. In conclusion, staff recommend to approve the application for demolition, approve the application for new construction, approve the landscaping plan, and issue a heritage permit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Members should note that we received correspondence both from the Rockcliffe Park Residents Association Heritage Committee in support of the application and from Heritage Ottawa also in support. So are there any questions to the staff? No. I know the applicant is prepared to speak, but can I ask if the committee is prepared to approve the application, does the applicant, Mr. Kai, need to speak? Are you okay if we approve it? Do you need to speak if we approve it? No? Oh, okay, great. All right, thank you. Okay, so with that, is this item carried? Okay, great. So, we started out short and sweet in January 2018. There are no in-camera items. Any notices of motion for the next meeting? I see none. No inquiries. So in terms of other business, maybe just note two things quickly. One is staff have circulated a zoning bylaw amendment and subdivision proposal for 21 Withrow Avenue, which is a property designated under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act and part of our circulation process, which we agreed to at the beginning of our term. And other than that, there are no technical circulations. And just to note, yes, this is probably a record, but after, I think, a very busy fall, we've earned it to, I hope, to some extent. So thank you for that. We've got a couple of very important items coming up this spring, so I can't promise that all of the meetings in the coming months will be this short and sweet, but we'll try and be as efficient as we can. And you heard the anticipated process for the Chateau Laurier application, and we'll be sure to keep members apprised of any scheduling or any changes in that plan as they come up. So with that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.